Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by the faithful and for the faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here today with Kurt Leavins. Welcome, Kurt.
Hello, David. How are you this afternoon / this evening?
I'm good. The Edmonton Oilers, not so much. They lose 5-3 to the New Jersey Devils. Kurt, the game was, let's put it this way, a comedy of errors. The most dramatic moment comes as Connor Brown sticks the knife into his old team in perfect Connor Brownian fashion with a breakaway goal. It was
always seems to happen, the former Oiler. Hey, it never seems to fail. It's been like that forever.
So there'll be a lot of anguish on the internet. Like we had it after the first game with Skinner, we had it after last game with Bouchard. I think to pick on any one player tonight is misguided.
Agreed.
There was 4 or 5 players who were just had that puck like a hot potato on their stick. The Oilers were careless as a team with the puck. They didn't really have many aspects of their game going. Kurt, in this game, the 5-alarm, the grade A shots were 11-9 for New Jersey, so it was a fairly close game. But again, we see the subset of 5-alarm shots was 8-5 for New Jersey, a very significant advantage in the most dangerous shots in the game. Want to get at it?
Yeah, let's go.
2 bad things, 2 numbers. There's a game tomorrow, so hopefully we can all quickly forget this one.
Cleanse.
There'll be 7 people who watch this podcast. Like when the Oilers lose, I'm the same. I don't want to listen to the podcast. I don't want to read the stories. I just anyway. So let's just rip through this. And
sure,
for the hardcore that like to pick apart the game after it's over, which is what we do, we will do this, and it's our pleasure. What is your good thing?
My good thing was the 2-1 goal tonight, and a subset of that is while the Oilers are off to a slow start offensively this season, it's not because of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The Nuge has been able to find the net this season. He is the most consistent offensive producer on the club so far this year, and I thought that the 2-1 goal was a really good illustration of that. But it was also good plays on the part of 3 players, and Jack Roslovic, who I think has looked better and better incrementally with every game that he's played. I thought it was probably his best game tonight on a night when a lot of Oilers didn't have their best game.
Yeah.
But on the 2-1 goal, initially Roslovic, very sharp. He noticed that New Jersey was going on a change, turned sharp in the neutral zone and entered into the zone. So entered into the New Jersey zone with numbers, just because he had his head up and was aware of what was going on the ice. Then got a really good touch behind the net to earn the secondary assist on the goal. Connor McDavid, the primary assist, had to put that pass through 2 New Jersey defenders in the attacking zone, did so. Beautiful feed over to Nugent-Hopkins, who did not miss. Bing, bang, boom. 2-1, and we thought we had ourselves a hockey game at that point in time. When you see that sort of exchange from 3, top 6 players, I think we're all assuming Jack Roslovic's going to be a top 6 player on this team. You have some hope, right? It's like, see there, that's the mojo you've been looking for. That's the chemistry that we think that this team has. Unfortunately, it was just too few and too far between on this night. It was a glimmer of hope. Nugent-Hopkins had 2 goals on the evening. But the offense continues to be un-Oiler-like so far this season.
This was the first game. Like, they have been creating a lot of grade A shots, not necessarily as many 5-alarm shots as usual, but they have been creating a lot of grade A shots until this game. Just 8. I mean, they usually get 15 or 16. Mm-hmm. So 8 is pathetic. It's half their usual output. And I have a theory about that. We're going to get to it when we get to the bad things, but okay. They are not clicking.
No.
No line is particularly. They clicked on that play, Kurt.
Yes,
that was and I agree. I thought Roslovic was the Oilers' best forward. McDavid made the most good plays of any Oilers forward, and Nugent-Hopkins. But both McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins also made errors and mistakes on key plays.
Yeah.
Whereas Roslovic kept a clean sheet. Like, he didn't make any big mistakes on grade A shots. He was good on defense and he was good on the attack. So I
Next to
agree with you.
McDavid, Roslovic had the highest 5v5 CF of anybody in the team, 64%. So
Yeah, they were both good. McDavid, there was one play where both he and Kulak watched a guy waltz into the slot. The danger man came in and got the pass, and they both let him shoot. It was that kind of game. The best player for the Oilers, I thought, by far, wasn't close, was Matthias Ekholm. And again, I'm really heartened by how well he is playing. He's killing it. He's been the strongest Oiler since the start of the year. I think that's probably reflected in the game grades. Tower of power out there tonight. He, in the first period, he found Henrique on a great stretch pass that Henrique got a decent shot on. He himself burst into the slot and took a really nice McDavid pass and almost scored in the second period. I thought he took a very smart foul on Hischier, who broke up the ice past Bouchard, and was this time Ekholm was there to cover for Bouchard, and it was a great scoring chance, and Ekholm almost took it away without a foul. I do think it was the correct call, calling it a penalty, but it was you don't want to let a breakaway chance develop. He had a huge shot block in the third period.
yes,
He didn't make one mistake on a grade A shot against, which for the Oilers in this game was something, because they were just there was just so many rancid mistakes, and he not by Matthias Ekholm. He's just such a smart, excellent hockey player. The Oilers are lucky to have him. Ken Holland, I think, takes some justified criticism. I think in the end he was kind of a B as the Oilers GM, but the trade for Ekholm and the signing of Hyman and Evander Kane are the three high notes.
A's.
And Ekholm is probably the highest note. I think that the reason I would give him a B, Kurt, is because we're seeing with Bowman now what someone who is truly on top of player procurement can do. And I think that Holland wasn't completely up to snuff in that regard. He was okay at it. Like, in terms of overseas players and beating the bushes for players, not as good as what we're seeing from Bowman, but he made some key moves to help this team.
Yeah, I didn't mean to suggest that Ken should have gotten an A. I agree. He was a B GM.
Okay.
It was,
I thought you made an A there.
No, the A's, the moves on Ekholm and Hyman were A's.
That was the A.
Those were wins, and if there was more of those, Ken would have maybe got an A too. But I'm with you. I think he was a B GM.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas Chiarelli probably closer to C, a C
Yep.
GM, or maybe even less. I mean, Chiarelli's the thing that's forgotten about Chiarelli's time in office was the injuries to Clefbaum and Sekera devastated that team.
Yeah.
And Adam Larson's loss of his father as well. Like, these were huge things. No, that didn't happen under Chiarelli, excuse me.
That was later, but yeah.
That was later. But the injuries to Clefbaum and Sekera just totally changed the fortunes of the Oilers for 2 seasons in a row.
Yep.
All right, Kurt, your bad thing.
My bad thing is that the Oilers, and you alluded to it when you were talking about grade A shots tonight, they just kept beating themselves. And if you're a really good team like the Edmonton Oilers, and the Oilers are a really good team, when you lose games, most often it's because you're beating yourself, because you're the better team on the ice.
Yeah.
On tonight, I'm not going to count the final goal in the evening, but the first 4, 3 of them at least, the Oilers beat themselves on. The 1-0, while Ty Emberson certainly didn't read that play well, it was Jack Hughes. And so, it's, while certainly I think Ty Emberson is primarily to blame on the play, that was a goal scored by a world-class player. So I'm kind of willing to kind of give him half of a pass on that one, but not the next 3. I mean, the 2-0 was a mistake off a face-off. Curtis Lazar actually won that face-off, but then both Emberson and Kulak got beat to the net on the play on the 2-0. On the 3-1, this was a tough one, where Nugent Hopkins had the puck in the inside blue line, lost the puck battle. Now, it was an extended puck battle, but he still lost it. And Evan Bouchard, who I hate to keep banging away on poor old Evan, but he made a fatal mistake on that play. There's the case where you've got to hang back. You have to understand you're the only guy back. And if that puck pops loose, the Devils have numbers. Instead, he lunged for the puck, jailbreak down the ice, 3-1. And that was, of course, the shorthanded goal that you were alluding to. And it was just a backbreaker, right? Just a backbreaker. But then the 4-1 wasn't much better. It was Darnell Nurse who had the puck under control up the right-hand wall and frankly made a really weak attempt to clear the zone. Puck went right back in the Oilers' end, boom, 4-1. Those are unforced errors. And to make matters worse, they're unforced errors by veteran players who should know better in those situations. So it was a frustrating night. These weren't surely the only players to make big mistakes. I'm just signaling them out because that's the guys that were wearing the goat horns when New Jersey scored.
I'm just going to build on that, Kurt. On the 11 grade A shots for New Jersey, 8 of them involved turnovers by the Oilers.
See,
just going to quickly go through them.
Yep.
Podkolzin on the first one, he just gives away the puck and it's slammed on net first period. Just 6 minutes later, Leon Draisaitl does exactly the same thing. Gives away the puck behind the net.
That line was not good.
Another shot. Then Bouchard and Tomasek get stuck out way too long after. They've been out for 2 minutes on the power play. Then they're out. And Evan Bouchard has a chance to clear it. He turns it over up the boards. And eventually there's a grade A shot after that. Darnell Nurse, I don't remember this one, in the second. He makes a turnover. Trent Frederick in his defensive slot gives away the puck. And again, this is like a massive chance that it could have easily gone in the net. And most of these are like that. These are all just humongous chances, like Draisaitl's, Podkolzin's, Frederick's turnovers. Mm-hmm. Then on the Draisaitl makes another one at the offensive blue line. Jack Hughes gobbles up the puck, rushes up the ice, and almost scores.
Great save by Pickard on that play.
That's correct. On the back-breaking Connor Brown goal, it all starts off with Leon Draisaitl on the boards in the offensive end and throwing the puck into the middle of the ice, and it's picked off. Nugent Hopkins then loses that battle, and then Bouchard loses the battle. So another turnover there, and then finally there's Nurse's turnover, which was never give Darnell Nurse too much time with the puck in his zone, so he'll find a way. Just move the puck, Darnell. Don't skate around with it. Don't go around the world. Anyway, Kurt, it was ghastly, just ghastly. And Kurt, again, people are whining and crying probably, and over all these self-inflicted wounds, and I get that. Like they make me angry, they make people angry. But I'm also I was reminded there's this great line from Mr. Bennett in Pride and Prejudice, where he says, quote, "For what do we live but to make sport for our neighbors and laugh at them in our turn?" And all these mistakes by the Oilers, like, you can laugh or you can cry, and I'm just going to laugh today. It was a comedy of errors. It was so bad. My bad thing, though, is related to the Oilers' lines. I think the coach isn't getting them right. Obviously, he would know. He knows that. He knows they're not clicking. Something's not going right. So, but right from the start of the game, I just wondered about the choice. Trent Frederick is not much of an offensive center, I don't think, but he got the offensive wingers, and David Tomasek, who is supposed to be the offensive center, he got the defensive wingers. Why not put Frederick with the checkers, Lazar and Henrique, on a checking line, and Tomasek with the attacking players, Savoy and Roslovic, on the third line. I didn't get that. Honestly, I didn't get Tomasek at center at all either in the end. You talk about his slow boots, Kurt. That really came into play. And it was his slow reads. He's not a center in the National Hockey League. No. He's not close.
He isn't.
You know who is? A guy who's been sitting
No, Philp.
Noah Phelps. Since the Oilers
Yeah.
have started to disintegrate on defense, Noah Phelps been in the stands the last 3 games. Listen, he should be in the game. He should be at center. He's a better defensive center than Trent Frederick, David Tomasek, and Adam Henrique at this point. He's as big as any of them. He's faster and he's as smart defensively at this point. He should be in the game. He's got to play, I think. And also just to find out what do you have in Noah Philp before you have to make up your mind on him. You know what you have in Adam Henrique. It's not going to kill him to sit out a few games, honestly. And it's not going to kill the Oilers either. Like, he's not that critical to the penalty kill, which isn't that great in the first place. Like, he's an okay penalty killer. They're all kind of okay, but no, there's not like this great penalty kill that you're worried about breaking up. Philp can do as good a job. So play him. And I think that will go a long way. If you have him on a checking line, bring back that checking line that they had in the first few games, and match up your offensive players, and then cobble together a fourth line. It's not working now. We'll see what changes are made. Do you think Philp will be in tomorrow?
Boy, I was just shocked when he didn't play the game after he was the first star. I'm sorry. I'm going to hang on to that one like a dog with a bone. Like, it's, if hockey is really a meritocracy, how in God's name do you put him in the press box after he played a game like that? I'm sorry. I think that was a bad decision then. I think it's a bad decision now.
There is that, Kurt. There is that.
Yeah. So I've kind of given up for the time being. What Chris is going to do next game. And look, Chris is a good coach. Like, I don't have any problem with him as a coach, but like all coaches, every so often he makes decisions that make you kind of go, what? And you know what, for all the points that you made on the lines tonight, and I think you make fair points on all of them. The funny thing was, none of them were the Oilers' worst line. The Oilers' worst line was the Draisaitl line. That's the poorest game Leon's played all year. You mentioned the turnovers, but he got nothing done. And if you look at the 5-on-5 play by that line, it's miserable. I mean, 5v5 CF. Leon was 37%. Kapanen was 31%. Podkolzin 32%. Like, they just got grilled 5-on-5. And, I'll be honest, I thought going in, okay, I can see them together because they've played together and they've had some success together. And I think Podkolzin and Draisaitl in particular have had some chemistry together. But not tonight, man. They were beaten like a rented mule.
I don't mind like one of Podkolzin or Kapanen on a skill line, but don't like both of them together. Like, if it worked in the past, and I guess it has, it's kind of like, wow, you rolled the dice and you got a great roll, because it's not going to happen very often. Neither of them is a natural goal scorer. They're both aggressive forecheckers. Like, put Roslovic on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like give Leon a skill player to work with. There's lots of them now. Mangiapane is a good player. He's a good skill player.
Yeah.
Matt Savoy is a good skill player.
Yeah.
He's not getting a lot done on the attack right now, Matt Savoy. But again, Trent Frederick isn't the perfect ideal center to get a lot done with on the attack. Let's be honest about it. So you got to get the right combinations of players to create grade A shots. It is hard to create a grade A shot in the NHL unless the other team's just giving away the puck, as they will do sometimes. But it is hard, generally speaking, to manufacture that. You need combinations of players who work, and the coach didn't find those combinations, come close to finding them tonight. Hopefully he will tomorrow. Kurt, what is your number?
0 for 3, the Oilers power play. This game may have turned out differently if the Oilers had done something with the man advantage, but they really didn't. And when you get a power play early in the game, that one's always a bit of a crapshoot for me because you don't have your touches yet. It's, for most teams, the first power play of a game often doesn't go very well. But if you capitalize in that, bam, it's 1-0 and you're in the driver's seat on the road, right? Like, so it's missed opportunity. But they had two other opportunities tonight to make an impact in this game and didn't. It's this is too good of a power play to continue to keep going, over 3 like they did tonight. But in a game like this, when you need your best players to be your best players at key moments in the game, like a man advantage, they weren't tonight, and that's part of the reason why they lost.
Is this 2 games in a row also with 2 shorthanded goals that are absolute backbreakers? Like last game and this game, like they're a net negative, the power plays. I mean, they only had one grade A shot. McDavid set up Draisaitl for his great shot, his executioner shot, and he didn't score. That was the only grade A shot on the power play. And again, they're giving up a shorthanded goal, which is just such a killer. That is scores close and you give up a shorthanded goal. It's over.
Yeah, it really hurts. It does.
The defensive play is also falling apart on the Oilers. Last year, for example, they gave up 2025 6.7 5 alarm shots per game. So this in the last 3 games, it's been 8 each game. So they're on the high side of their average the last 3 games. They're not in sync. This is a team that isn't in sync, isn't playing well together, doesn't have the defense pairings seem okay, but they're just okay because Bouchard's slumped the last couple games. Darnell Nurse is playing okay-ish. But not tonight. He had a poor game tonight. Mm-hmm. The only guy who's really playing well is Ekholm. They've missed Regula and they've missed Wallman, obviously, who's a really good player. So the forward lines
I think that's significant, by the way. I think when you take Wallman and Regula out of the mix, those are 2 guys who can really transition the puck. And if you go from those 2 guys to Emberson and Stetcher, that's a big difference between a puck getting up to Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid and a puck not getting to them. Right. So I don't think that should be overlooked.
Yeah, Regula was playing well. Darn
yep.
Evander Kane. He did what Evander Kane does.
He does.
All right, Kurt. We got a game tomorrow. I think. Have you any other points that you wanted to make or any other?
Other than that, I got to say, while I hate losing, New Jersey's sure a fun team to watch. They're fast, man. They've got quick boots. And while the Oilers certainly could have won this game had they not shot themselves in the foot, New Jersey should be a playoff team. They are fun to watch, and Jack Hughes is exciting. He's worth the price of admission.
I will say there was 2 times in the first period where Mangiapane and Nurse passed up slot shots, but the biggest example of that was Jack Hughes. He had a wide open net if he had moved, I think, to his backhand.
Yes, I
put it over to I can't remember if it was Bratt or Palat, one of those guys, and gave up what should have been a goal. So that was good. But
Jesper Bratt's a good player, man. Talk about an unsung player that we don't talk about enough.
But I agree with you, Kurt. The skill of the Hughes brothers, what a phenomenal hockey family.
Yeah.
The way those guys skate, that is just amazing. Luke Hughes is like such a fantastic skater. I really enjoy watching him. And this is the first time I've actually seen Jack Hughes play really well. And he is quick. I agree with you on the first goal. Like I thought Kulak, Nuge, and Emerson all had a shot at him, but none of them really came close.
No.
And and when you look at it, he's like at the red line and the other guys are back at the blue line when it all starts, but he just comes so fast.
Yeah.
It's like, McDavid does that to teams, and Hughes has that kind of straight ahead speed, and it was glorious to watch if you're a Devils fan, and kind of painful for us.
For us, yeah.
Kurt, thank you for talking tonight.
It's my pleasure. Always good to talk to you, Dave.
And in the meantime, and in between time, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.